There really never seemed to be much of a question about whether Governor Christie would win re-election, but the question that does remain, well, what's really next for Christie, and what does his victory mean to the balance of power in Trenton? Joining us on the line now is political analyst Steve Adubato. Steve, it's good to have you with us.
Andrew, always good to talk to you.
So,
Good night.
Christie's speech tonight, is this a warm-up for a presidential campaign, the victory speech he just finished?
Yes, absolutely.
That's easy.
Yeah, because the governor is ready and primed, and it's no secret that he very much wanted to win this race by between, I would say, 18 and 23, 24 points, and that in a state with over 700,000 more Democrats than Republicans is a landslide for Republican. I mean, that's huge. It just doesn't happen. And so for Chris Christie, to be able to say he got half the Hispanics in the state to vote for him, and he held his own in urban areas, to be able to go across the country and say that, what other Republican can do that? There is no other Republican that can do that who wants to run for president. Surely not Ted Cruz. And so that's Christie's campaign, and that's why it wasn't just winning, but it was winning big, Andrew.
As far as that's concerned, he can stamp mission accomplished on it, but what about the coattails effect? Was Christie's margin of victory, is it looking like it's going to be enough to switch control in either the Senate or the Assembly in Trenton from Democrat to Republican?
I don't see it. In many ways, a lot of the Democrats are very practical in these swing districts, and Barbara Buono took the hit on this, meaning a lot of the Democrats said, look, I've got to fight for my political life. And so what they did was they ran spots, they ran television spots, they put out mail saying, Democrats saying, I work with Chris Christie, we get things done together. That helped them in their campaigns. It hurt Barbara Buono. It helped Christie. And so in many ways, the Republican legislative candidates couldn't get traction because the Democratic legislative candidates were saying, we don't think Christie's all that bad. In fact, we work with him a lot. So it became very confusing to have coattails when the Democrats were in some ways running with Christie.
And in some ways, there were some complaints that maybe the governor didn't do quite enough for his Republican colleagues in the legislature. Does that hold water?
Listen, some are going to say that. And listen, again, if I'm a candidate for the legislature and I'm a Republican, I would want Chris Christie to do everything he could for me. But the fact is, Chris Christie's primary concern was Chris Christie. And, you win by 60% with 60% of the vote, and Republicans don't gain a whole bunch of seats. To me, ultimately, that's on the legislative candidate. Those legislative candidates needed to fend for themselves. And I do not think the Republicans are going to take control of either house. And it's going to be challenging for Christie moving forward because I do not believe the Democrats are going to work all that hard to be as cooperative with him as they've been in the past because they know he wants to move forward and run for president, and they don't want to help him do that.
Political analyst Steve Adubato, thank you so much for checking in with us this evening.
Always good to talk to you, Andrew.